Since you clicked on this video, I'm assuming you want to get that filmic, cinematic look, and you think there is either like a trick to it that you could do it in one click, or you might have a Canon camera like a Canon R6, the one that I have. And yeah, you want to get that look. So let's talk about it. What is the film look? That's a really important question to answer, because we got to know what we're looking for when we're talking about this term, because this term, the film look term, has changed its meaning so much within the last couple of years that some of us don't even know what we're looking for when we say that. Some might be talking about getting the look of cinema, like the look that you get in movies. But what does that even mean? Because there's so many movies around, there's so many different looks, where some people refer to the physical medium called film. So before we had digital cameras, we had film cameras, like on photo and video. Some people refer to the look that you get from those films as the film look as well. But again, which one are you talking about? There's so many film stocks, there's so many kinds of looks from each film stock, and different people interpret those films differently as well, and so they become again another look. So what do we mean by that? And the biggest mistake anyone could ever make is that these two things are related. The film look from the physical medium of film does not make whatever image you're producing look like a movie from Hollywood. I think that should be obvious, because if you take any film photo and it doesn't really look like it belongs in a movie, it just looks like an edited photo, or it just looks like a film photo or some sort, depending on like who's developing it and who's like editing it after. That whole misconception, I think, is what we really need to clarify. What are you looking for? Are you looking for the cinema stuff, or are you looking for the film stuff? I know I just went on a long streak of like speaking, but I hope I still have your attention, just because that's really important. We need to know what we're looking for. Fortunately, the plugin that I'm going to be talking about today does both, sort of, if you know what you're doing. You could make your videos look like they belong with the Hollywood movies and stuff, if you know what you're doing. And you could also make them look like the product of the physical medium of film, if you know what you're doing, sort of. So the plugin I'm going to be talking about today is called Dehancer. Now, some of you might already know what this is, but for those who don't, it is a film emulation software, and it's designed to emulate the look of film. And whether that is the physical medium of film or the cinematic look, filmic look that a lot of people refer to, it does both, sort of. Again, if you know what you're doing. Full disclosure, Dehancer did send me this product. However, I'm not obligated to make a video about it. I'm not obligated to say anything good about it. They did even specifically say if I was going to make a review about it, to be really honest about my thoughts on it, so that they could improve. All the opinions are of my own and my experience with it. So I'm here to tell you about it and how you could use it, hopefully to your own advantage. So real quick, I'm going to run through my setup and workflow just so you've got some context. Most of the videos here are shot on the Canon R6 on C-Log3 profile. My video editor of choice is Final Cut Pro, and that is what I'm running this Dehancer plugin through. Alright, so I thought I'd show you guys how this plugin works in real time. So I'm just gonna quickly do like a quick edit on all these clips that I have here, and then you can see for yourself how the workflow works. And then yeah, so I've got a couple of clips out here, and they are shot on the Canon R6 C-Log3 as mentioned. I've also thrown in two clips here. This one is shot on the R6 as well, but shot in C-Log, not C-Log3. And I have this here, which is shot on the Canon RP in Rec 709, so that will not be log, but since this plugin takes Rec 709 as well, I'll show you how it looks. Now we'll start with this first clip here, taken in Papan in Pera, and let's drag the Dehancer plugin onto an adjustment layer. And you'll start off with this like weird looking image, and then you realize that like, why does it look like this? It's probably because our source is selected to the Rec 709 source right now, and we've got to change that. I would do is choose camera, because I'm using the R6, and then Canon for the vendor and the camera. Fortunately, they have an R6 here, although if you have like an R7 or any other camera like an R which you don't see the names here, but then you can find like their profiles here. I'm assuming you can just like use them as well, so they'll probably match up pretty okay. So I'm gonna shoot to C-Log3 cinema gamut because that's what I used. Now it's still looking pretty bright and washed out, and that's because it's already coming out with right off the bat with some adjustments already made to it. So what I do is I like to just turn all these off, and then again, like I said, it would be a little bit overwhelming at the start because everything's showing and like there's so many things to go through. So I find it useful to just hide everything and turn everything off first, and then go everything one step at a time. So I start with picking my film stock first, and for this one I think I'm gonna try using the Ektachrome. It's a slide film, and then maybe at the start I might adjust the exposure composition down a little bit, and then maybe next I would go to the print. I'll do these two first because this is kind of like the biggest things that influence the defining look of the image itself. So I'll start with these two first. I usually just like pick and choose and see like what it provides me with. Right now I'm not liking the Fuji for this so much. It's a little cool for my liking, and the Kodak, it's a little too magenta. The Endura looks pretty nice if I'm going for that more like natural look, but I'm not going for natural here. Let's try the Kodak again. For target white, I like it a little bit warmer, maybe something like this, and then bring down the exposure by a little bit. I don't need so much contrast. Bring down the contrast, bring down exposure a little bit, and then maybe bring up the color density by a little bit. Sometimes I would use this analog range limiter, so these things, they kind of just like they kind of give you a more realistic like limitation of like what a film does, because like the blacks are never truly like black. And then film compression. So this one is interesting because if you shoot film enough, you kind of know that like it has this like milky highlight look to it, and I feel like this function is the one that kind of like brings that look in. Obviously you don't want to overdo it, but you can get pretty nice results, something like that, like this. And then nope, don't need that. Yeah, something. Yeah, I would do it something like that. You have maybe I'm finding that it's a little cool in the shadows, and I'm not really liking that. There is a color head here, and I could choose to affect the shadow tone a little here. We'll warm that up a little bit, and that's where I would leave that. And I think I've got a pretty nice look for myself already. I might want to boost the color for a little bit. So let's see. Film developer, I can adjust the contrast here as well, but I think I'm just gonna, yeah, I can bump it up a little bit. And then color boost, I'll boost the color here just by a bit. That looks about right. So I'll give it some time to render first while I check if there's anything else I would want to do here. No, looks pretty good to me. Okay, and now that it's rendered, let's watch this. Nice, I think that looks pretty good. If I wanted to, there's like bloom and halation here, but I don't think I necessarily want that for this one here. Now again, next one, I'm just gonna quickly do a little grade on this as well. So this is a shot of my brother. Again, you get this really weird looking thing. As we talked about, just turn everything off at the start, and then just quickly hide everything, and then start with the choosing camera, Canon R6, and then C-Log3 cinema gamut. Already right off the bat you get a pretty nice like look, because it's just a conversion LUT. And then now we get to see with like what films you want to use. And for this one, I'm feeling like maybe a 50D or 250D might do the trick. A 50D looks pretty good. Let me maybe push it a little bit. It's like one stop. I'm gonna push it for one stop, and then go to print again, and then maybe the Kodak print film might work well for this. Yeah, I like that. I like it a little warmer for the whites. Maybe not all the way, somewhere there. Bring down the exposure a little bit, the contrast. Doesn't have to go crazy with that. I don't really like how aggressive the grain is sometimes. So what I do is I actually go to the positive film type and then just kill the amount like all the way down. Obviously, and true film is a lot grainier than that, but I don't really want to get that. I usually leave I want to leave the highlights to have less grain and then have more grains in the shadows, and then it looks a little bit more natural to me for like film. I'm gonna go to film developer, and I think I can kill the no, actually I need to bring the contrast up a little bit. And then film compression once again, because I want to get that milky white, not too much maybe. Like something like that. And then, yeah, bring the highlights down a little bit. And I actually think I'm done with this one. Yeah, I think the grain is working out really well. So for the for this clip, this one is done in C-Log, so the process is going to be just the same. The only thing you need to pay attention to is to select the right format. So for C-Log, this is a C-Log 3, so these three are for C-Log 3 with their color profiles there. And then this is C-Log itself with what I shot in, which is 709, the color profile. And then everything else will work the exact same way as the C-Log 3 after you've selected that profile. So I came up with a look that looks like this. I really like this look, and yeah, I was rolling with that. Now for the last one would be the Rec 709 image. What I am doing here is going to be it's slightly simpler, because when you drag the Dehancer plugin, it's already on Rec 709, so you don't have to change anything here. This is the Rec 709 input that you're looking for. And again, the size, everything will work the exact same way. It'll just treat the 709 a little bit differently, but the same sliders will make the same functions. So my look ended up being something like this. So yeah, I'm just gonna play a couple of clips for you right now in the meantime, just to show you what kind of like potential like these plugin could do with these images. I think my favorite thing about Dehancer is the fact that it is a plugin, that it's not a bunch of LUTs. Now, obviously, there's nothing wrong with LUTs. People have been using them for years and like getting good results from them and loving the workflow. However, I just love the fact that Dehancer is a plugin. I think the fact that you get to be more in control and you get to feel more like involved in the process is what really attracts me to it. I love the fact that like you could like adjust things like the white points, the black points from these sliders. So that if you want to adjust the bloom factor, just one of the sliders, the halations, adjust the slider. You want to adjust like the kind of grain you're getting, like the amount of grain. It's not just an overlay, it's literally generating that grain. I love the whole, like if you want to adjust like things like film compression, you want to adjust your exposures, your color shifts, everything. It's literally a plugin that you can drag these sliders around and choose your film stocks. Being able to control how much you're pushing and pulling film. I think from someone who shoots a lot of film, it's really nice because you get to have this, like, especially if you have knowledge over this, you get to adjust what your film is going to look like based on your experience already. Now, I'm not saying all of these things are 100% accurate to what the real life examples would be, but it's as close as you can get, especially for now. until someone does this better, this has to be the best way to experience the whole film editing process without actually dealing with proper film. So on to what I'm not super crazy about this plugin is probably just one or two things. The first thing being, I just wish they had presets made that you could choose from as a starting point, so we understand kind of what to do at the start. Because if you don't know what you're doing, especially if you're just like a complete beginner, I think it's really difficult if you don't understand the terms, and it's hard to understand the terms because you've got to go through the experience of it. And like, you can get really overwhelmed by the amount of sliders there are because there are so many options, and you just keep working on an image until you don't even know what you're doing anymore. So I just wish that there was these kind of like presets to help people, especially beginners, start with. Even I had trouble when I first opened this because there was just so many things open at the same time, and I was just struggling to find my way through to get an image. And eventually you get it. It's just that to kind of ease that, maybe some presets would be nice. The other thing I'm not crazy about is the grain. Like, the grain is good, don't get me wrong. It's just that it's a lot. Like, it's a little bit overwhelming, and I just wish that there was a little bit more of a step going from no grain to having grain. It's like, once you have no grain, it's just clean, and then once you add a little bit of grain, it's just a lot. Like, I just wish there was a way to make that even less. Other than that, I don't think there's really anything else that I don't like about it. Like, honestly, I tried to look for faults, I really couldn't find it. So remember one of the cons that I had, or sort of like a light con that I had with this plugin, was the fact that they didn't have like presets for people to work with, especially for people who didn't know what they were doing. What I'm about to say is actually going to get a little interesting. So here's the thing, they actually have an iOS app, meaning you could use it on your iPhone or your iPad. I don't think they have the Android one yet, unfortunately. So what it is I'm just gonna get it open right now. Dehancer. Well, back to what I was saying earlier about presets, this app has it. So like, you know, if you're a beginner and you don't want to like invest in the desktop version, you just want something to see whether you might use it in the future or not, like, you could use the presets, and when you're ready you could use the desktop version, which unfortunately doesn't have the presets, but I think by then you might know what you're doing already. So one thing cool about this app is the fact that it's not just like an ordinary app with filter. It's basically the same plugin that they have on photo and video, just jam back into an app that could be worked on your phone and your iPad. The video one comes with the gate weave and the film breath functions as well. I've been using this for a couple weeks right now, and I have to admit I'm having like way too much fun with it, and now my Instagram's just full of like filmy vibey stuff in the stories. Give it a try, you might like it too. Then we can all have filmy vibey stuff on our Instagram. Now, I don't say this ever, but I genuinely believe that this plugin's for everyone. Like, no matter if you're a content creator, or if you're a industry professional, or if you're just a hobbyist. I think it's that happy medium where there is a user-friendly interface, creating this user-friendly experience, and also having this like space for you to explore and experiment. I wish there were more plugins like this that will give us more experience and options into doing our work and producing better images, or nicer looking images maybe. Lastly, Dehancer has provided me with a promo code for you guys for a 10% discount if you wish to purchase this product. The promo code will be right here or down in the description if you want to scroll down and do the copy paste thing. So that is it for today. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you had a good time. I hope you liked the video, and if you liked it, hit the like button down below. If you want to ask me some questions that I did not answer in this video, leave a comment down below. Or if you want to tell me how you feel about it, especially if you have the product, it'd be nice to hear from you. Yeah, what else is there? Instagram, follow my Instagram, promo code down below. Everything else is down below. Let me think. That's it. That is hilarious. That's hilarious. Just as I said, that's it. The camera just reached its 30-minute record limit right there. Yeah. I don't know why I'm telling you this, but yeah. Thanks. Bye.